Welcome back to Lessons in Attachment. Today, I want to talk to you about some of the things that I really believe from my experience, from working with people. I believe that these things that we're going to talk about today need to happen for you to feel more secure in dating, in relationships, and of course, with yourself. So, I'm Carly Ann. I am a somatic attachment coach, helping people to move from insecure attachment to secure. And I 100% believe that you deserve to have a healthy, happy love in your lifetime. I really believe that there are some things that you can do that are definitely going to help you. So, not only will it have a nice impact on your sense of security and how you feel in relationships when you're sensing that someone might be pulling away or there's a shift or a change, and you see yourself getting activated or deactivated. And not only will these things help that, but also they're going to help your well being. They're going to help your healing, your happiness. And ultimately, that's what I feel is really important when I'm working with people, because if I look at where I started, yes, there was this wake up call. Yes, there was this moment of being like, oh my God, I just really need to know my self worth. Then I kind of went into, well, where do I start with that? And for me, it was very much about looking at happiness. I believed that if I could start to feel happier within myself, then I would stop putting such an emphasis on other people and the people pleasing and all of those patterns that we see ourselves falling into when we have those deep abandonment wounds. What we are trying to do here is to build a better sense of self. If you have an insecure attachment, the chances are your sense of self, your sense of boundaries, your ability to regulate your emotions and resilience and things like that, they get knocked. They have been knocked in the past, and they're things that you might really struggle with. That's not you. That tends to be people with insecure attachment and abandonment wounds. Certain things within relationships hit them really, really hard. So, within building those skills, so for those of you that know that I run a course called Becoming Secure, and that is all about offering 6 skills that I believe if you work through them, you're going to see really useful change within your relationships with yourself and others. But how do we then build those skills? So that's what I want to talk to you about today. I think, well, actually, there's plenty, but just for the sake of this being a podcast episode, and I'm sure you have other things to be doing, I'm going to give you 5 things that I really think if you start incorporating these things into your day, into your week, you will see some positive shifts and change. And it's going to help you with these skills to help with that sense of self and regulating emotions and things like that. Little side note, this does involve you having to make change. And I know that that's not easy. So, whilst you are creating habits and bringing these things into your life, you are still going to be feeling insecure. You're still going to be tripping. You might still be liking someone that's unavailable. But if you commit to these things over time, that's going to start to change because you're going to start to move towards being more secure. But it's not just this sudden overnight thing, in my experience, anyway. And that's kind of my main driver here. So, the first thing is some kind of act of mindfulness, like having a practice that brings you to the moment, having a practice that allows you to slow down, to be more mindful of how you feel, your experience in that moment, and without judgment. And you can really indulge your 5 senses here. It doesn't take much for you to find this. You can Google mindfulness practices and you're going to see so. I know that actually that can be a bit overwhelming, can't it? Inside the attachment recovery gym, every day we spend 5 minutes, well, apart from Saturdays, Monday to Friday and Sunday, we have at least 15 minutes where it's committed to somatic practices, mindful practices, and helping you to indulge your senses and live in the moment. That really helped me because, the alternative is the overthinking, the ruminating, the wondering about other people, worrying about relationships. So you really need to learn to live in the present moment. There are reasons why people with insecure struggle with that. So please do know that it's going to take practice and training, and it's so worth it though. I really can say that. That's why I talk about it all the time. The next is if you focus on your values and what lights you up. So, this is coming back to that happiness, right? What makes you feel more yourself? If you don't know yourself, you need to get to know your values, what joys you have, what just gives you that kind of feeling where something is feeding your soul. Being able to do that just means that, I mean, it's the ultimate act of self love, isn't it? It means you're going to show up more as yourself. You're going to have this kind of expectation that it's important that you are valued and that you're important and all things like that. The next is self love and self compassion. So I've just sort of grouped them together because they're very similar, how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself. And I really love self compassion because, again, it comes with this element of mindfulness, not judging yourself, being kind to yourself through suffering. Is one of those earliest steps that I was taking when I was working on. I don't know if I was actively working on moving towards being secure at this point, but I was definitely working on just my well being and being less focused on other people. And now I realize that I was kind of indirectly working on my attachment issues. Next is to connect with nature. Again, we do a lot of this in the membership. And I have to say, especially my clients actually get so much connection with nature. And we all know, I had it recently where I literally stepped out the house, and it did take a bit of effort. I've been sharing a lot inside the membership actually that the beginning of the year, I was definitely feeling this pull towards like staying inside a lot more. And I'm sure actually that's probably the case for a lot of people. But there was this one moment in particular, I was like, no, I'm going to get out the house. I'm just going to go to the cafe. And as soon as I stepped out the door, I literally felt like a new person. So I think just, fresh air, getting outside, I know you can ruminate and overthink outside. So do be kind of mindful of that. You want to incorporate it with the mindfulness and things like that. But definitely connecting with nature. It's also connection. And one of the things that we want to support you with is connection. It doesn't just have to be connection with your attachment figure. So try connecting with nature without looking for a sense of achievement of what is this doing for me? How is this fixing me? Just connect with nature and see how that makes you feel. And then the next thing I would say, again, incorporating this into your day and your week, if it's possible, is to have more fun moving your body. And this is where we have permission to feel silly. I really love somatic movement. I do this each Sunday inside the attachment recovery gym. And this can be walking. It can also be there's certain, exercises that you can do that really help you to release energy, to shift energy. And it's just really powerful. People talk all the time about dancing, moving, and then just feeling like a new person, or certainly feeling like something in them has shifted. Do those things and just try them. Again, don't focus so much on the achievement. Over time, this will support secure attachment. And if that's what you're here looking for, commit to these things. Yeah, stop looking for the quick fixes. Stop trying to get into the head of the unavailable person. Stop trying to prove, I don't know, that your thoughts are true. And instead connect with these things because they're going to help your well-being, your happiness, and secure attachment. Trust in what you can't see. That's definitely what I did. If you need to, then you could start to record just tiny, tiny shifts that you do see improvements. And that might encourage you and motivate you to keep these things going. But, I'm seeing it in the membership. We've been doing the daily classes now since November. And people are definitely starting to see the effects of that. Yeah, recommend that. Have fun with it. Think outside the box, and you will start to move towards becoming secure. I want to take a moment and let you know a bit more about the attachment recovery gym because so many of you are going to benefit from this space. The Attachment Recovery Gym is an online membership that supports you to get in touch with and exercise your most secure self.
You can join this community when you have reached the point where you know so much of the information, yet being able to change and put that into practice is really difficult. You see yourself defaulting back to old, painful patterns. It's an online membership space where you can take everything that you've been learning, that includes all of the things that I'm talking about in this video and my other videos and on my Instagram. You can take all of that and you can put it into practice. If you have a reoccurring relationship issue or a specific trigger where you feel stuck, then fear not. The Attachment Recovery Gym marries 3 core components that are going to support you to be able to change and self-soothe in the moment. That is community, accountability, and education. When you become a member of the Attachment Recovery Gym today, you get immediate access to a library of resources and a schedule of classes that strengthen your secure self, just like you were working on your physical health, because that's something that I believe is really important.